श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। So go ahead, Madhavi, unmute yourself. We'll chant from number 22. यदृच्छालाभसन्तुष्टः
यदृच्छालाभसन्तुष्टः
द्वन्द्वातीतो विमत्सरः
द्वन्द्वातीतो विमत्सरः
समसिद्धावसिद्धौ च
समसिद्धावसिद्धौ च
कृत्वापि न निबध्यते
कृत्वापि न निबध्यते
गतसङ्गस्य मुक्तस्य
गतसङ्गस्य मुक्तस्य
ज्ञानावस्थितचेतसः
ज्ञानावस्थितचेतसः
यज्ञायाचरतः कर्म
यज्ञायाचरतः कर्म
समग्रं प्रविलीयते
समग्रं प्रविलीयते
ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्महविः
ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्महविः
ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं
ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं
ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यम्
ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यम्
ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिना
ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिना
दैवमेवापरे यज्ञम्
दैवमेवापरे यज्ञम्
योगिनः पर्युपासते
योगिनः पर्युपासते
ब्रह्माज्ञावपरे यज्ञम्
ब्रह्माज्ञावपरे यज्ञम्
यज्ञेनैवोपजुह्वति
यज्ञेनैवोपजुह्वति
श्रोत्रादीनिन्द्रियाण्यन्ये
श्रोत्रादीनिन्द्रियाण्यन्ये
संयमाग्निषु जुह्वति
संयमाग्निषु जुह्वति
शब्दादीन् विषयान् यन्ये
शब्दादीन् विषयानन्ये
इन्द्रियाग्निषु जुह्वति.
इन्द्रियाग्निषु जुह्वति.
Today we will do 27. Sarvani indriya karmani
सर्वाणीन्द्रियकर्माणि
prana karmani chapare
प्राणकर्माणि चापरे
atma samyama yogagnau
आत्मसंयमयोगाग्नौ
juhvati jnana deepite.
जुह्वति ज्ञानदीपिते.
Yeah. So we studied the Bhashyam of verse number 24, Brahmarpanam Brahmabhi, Shankara Bhashyam, and an important shloka which teaches us that all actions and all accessories connected with the actions are all nothing but Brahma. That is the essence of this shloka. And after that, Krishna from verse number 25 till 34 or 33, I think. So he's going to talk about different kinds of religious disciplines called yajnaha. Yajnaha. Here the word yajnaha is used to refer not to a fire ritual where we have a yaga, there is a homa kunda, and then a ritual is done. That is, of course, called a yajna, yaga or homa. But here, for those of us who are used to yajnas, if not having done a yajna, at least having seen a yajna, okay, Chandi Homa, they will do huge affair. It is goes over 1, 2, 3 days, 4 days, sometimes 5 days also. So Chandi Homa. So we should be part of all these things. At least be there in the in the audience and then chant the mantras and then see it. So then we become part of it. So for such people, this is very easy to visualize. The yajnas that Krishna is going to present now, none of that is a fire ritual. It's not a Chandi homam. It's not a, it's not any of these homams, Navagraha homam ityadi. It is all yajnas which are to be visualized, which are in which you have to take your own life's activities and then convert the activity into a yajna. Pranayama is a yajna he's going to talk about. Like this, he's going to say japa, pranayama, and like that, he's going to list a few. About a dozen, he's going to list. We will see all that. Now, it's not new to us because if those of us who have seen Indian newspapers, I'm used to reading English newspapers. So those days, Hindu. These days, we don't go near the Hindu newspaper, and we only burn it. And but those days, we used to. I remember at the last page. How many of you remember the last page of the Hindu newspaper? Yeah, many of you. So there's a small column will be there. It's a religious, spiritual column. Somebody will write about some mahima of some temples, and so there every day it will change. Today it will be Tirtha Yatra. So how it is important to go on pilgrimages to various places, Kanyakumari, you have to go to Jammu and Kashmir, you have to go to Kashi, you have to go to Rishikesh, like this, they will list and they will tell you why it's important to go on a pilgrimage. Yajna. then Parayanam, you have to do your Parayanam, Veda Parayanam, that's a Yajna. Then you have to do a Japa. What is the significance of doing Japa? Japa Yajna, correct? And then, or you can write Sri Rama Jayam, Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. You can write, keep on writing. So all these things they will talk about. So for us, this is not new at all. This yajna is not at all new. And so Sangeetam can become a yajna if you recognize that it's really a prayer. There is no classical music composition which is not a prayer. Not every song is a prayer. That's it, prarthana. And so this is the background, and so therefore everything is done with a prayer. Done prayerfully becomes a yajna. Okay, and puja, of course, puja is there, and if I say, my house is too small, there is no puja room, not a problem. You sweep your floor, convert the sweeping of the floor into a yajna. Who said you are supposed to have a puja room? And no, there's no rule like that. In our culture, it's a nothing like that. There are no rules like that. So convert every activity into a prayer. And so therefore, this is what we are after here. And then towards the end, he already talked about Jnana Yajna, right? In which shloka? So Brahmagna Vapare Yajnam Yajnena Ivopa Juhvati. Okay, and then he's going to talk later about Jnana Yajna. It's going to come later. Swadhya Yajnana Yajnascha. We're going to see that in 28. And Jnana Yajna is going to talk about. Means what? The pursuit of the Shastra, the study of the Shastra. He's going to refer to that. And Swami Chinmayanandaji coined this word called Jnana Yajna for when he used to give a series of talks. 1 week in Mumbai, 1 week in New York, 1 week in Chennai. So they are called Jnana Yajna. How many of you remember Jnana Yajna? So like that, that phrase is used. So Paramarthanandaji told us that he was the one who coined that phrase, Jnana Yajna, because it's a pursuit of knowledge, pursuit of the Vedanta Shastra. Therefore, it becomes a yajna. So the next week, I devote for that Shastram. So if I have to buy a book, I buy the book. If I have to write notes, I write notes. All that becomes a yajna. Good. So what did we see here? 24, 25 onwards, is doing that. So last class we saw 25 and 26. Daiva Yajna, right? Daiva Meva Pare Yajnam, Daiva Yajna or Deva Yajna, where it's a worship of specific deities. We saw that. And then Brahmagna Vapare Yajnam. So the pursuit of the study of the Shastram, people offer themselves into the fire of the Agni, which is Brahman. That also we saw. Then 26 and 27 go together actually. We completed 26. And so second line of 26 is what? Shabdadeen. Sounds, sights, smells, tastes, and touch effects, all feelings, touch feelings. Everything is offered to the respective sense organs. Correct? So what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of offering? Hey, my sense organs are all just all over the place, and I'm running after so many different things. Just like when you offer a ghee into the fire, the ghee disappears, gets burnt, and does not exist. Therefore, when I offer all these things that I'm running after, and all these things are offered into the fire of the sense organs, the untamed sense organs, right? They become now little more, they come under my control somewhat. My mind doesn't run after the latest iPhone and latest this and latest that. And we have become latest people. Okay. So we're always latest. And we should not become late. That is the only concern. While searching for latest, we should become late, So the late Jay Kumar, late this, late that, that fear also is there, what to do. And so that we want to keep it, postpone it as much as possible. Latest. Let it happen late. Okay. So anyway, so therefore, this is a yajna to offer these things to the sense organ. Means whenever I enjoy something, then or I like something, or I dislike something, I offer it to the sense organ. I take it as an offering, because you don't blame the sense organs for it, and then you offer it, and then it becomes a yajna. It gets consumed And so then you've done your yajna. We saw that last class. And then likewise, the sense organs are offered into the sanyamagneshu. Sanyama. So, Indriya Samyama Yajna, that is called. So, we saw Deva Yajna, we saw Jnana Yajna, then we saw Vishaya Bhoga Yajna, means all the things that are objects of our experience, our sense organs, Vishaya Bhoga Yajna, and then we are going to see Indriya Samyama Yajna, we saw that. And then this 27, which we are going to see now, that is a Shama Yajna. Shama Yajna. How many of you know Shiva Manasa Puja? At least heard of Shiva Manasa Puja? Yeah, Shiva Manasa Puja. So there, Atmatvam Girija Matihi, correct? There is a shloka there, Atmatvam Girija Matihi. What is the meaning of that? Atmatvam. Atma is I, okay? But Tvam means you in Sanskrit. Tvam is you. I is you. Means what? Hey, hey Shiva, I know, don't put up a show like this. You are nothing but me. There is no difference between you and me. Atmatvam. Girija Matihi. Hey, the Parvati is with you. You are thinking, but Parvati is here. Matihi, my mind. अरे मेरा बुद्धि पार्वती है यार, क्या बात कर रहे हैं आप? So Atmatvam Girija Matihi, like this it goes, right? And then Sahacharaha Pranaha. So all my pranic activities, physiological activities, all those are my accompaniments, my companions, the people who make me run the show of this body. Shariram Griham, correct? Shariram Griham. So this Sharira is the body, which is where you are there. Hey Shiva, Atmatvam. Like this, there is a beautiful symbology. And then Padayoho Pradakshina Vidhi. So I go to various places. I walk using my legs, Padayoho. So wherever I walk, I am doing your own Pradakshina. I am going around you only. So it's a Shiva Manasa Puja. Look at that. How beautiful it is. So if you say the temple is too far away, you say, no, pandemic, I can't go to the temple. No problem. We have no problem, my dear. And you can do Shiva Manasa Puja. You can sit at home and do your Shiva Manasa Puja. Correct? So, therefore, for us, this yajna becomes very meaningful. And so we just chanted this number 27. Sarvan Indriya Karmani, Prana Karmani Chapare, Atma Samyama Yoga Agno Juhvati Jnana Deepite. We are looking at that shloka. Okay. So, first line, Sarvani Indriya Karmani refers to the five sense organs. Shrotram, Chakshuhu, Sparsham, Rasanam, Ghrana. Okay, those are the five sense organs. And then Prana Karmani. Prana Karmani refers to the Karmendriyani. Karmendriyani means organs of action. Organs of action. Means what? Vakpani Pada Payu Upastha. Right? Sense of speech. Pani, hand. Padam, legs. Payu, the organ of elimination. And Upastha, organ of procreation. So these are the five organs of action. Those are being referred to in the first line. So, Apare, and others, and they, Juhvati, in the second line, Juhvati, they offer these 5 sense organs and 5 organs of action. They offer Atma Samyama Yoga. Now, where do they offer? Atma Samyama Yoga. Agno, in the fire. What kind of fire it is? It's called the fire of Atma Samyama. Atma Samyama. So again, Atma here doesn't mean Sachidananda Atma. It means the mind. Mastery of the mind. Sanyama, mastery. And to that, with the goal of mastering the mind, towards the goal of having a calm mind, having a composed mind, having a compassionate mind, and a mind that can think freely without being fettered by anything. And that mind towards a goal of having that mind, these sense organs are being offered. So it's a continuation of, number 6, except that here it refers to people who are dedicated to that. They spend the entire day in this, entire day itself. So therefore this, and then jnana deepite also, that means what? Illuminated by knowledge. Means what? Knowledge of what? They are very clear about what they want. I want antakarana shuddhi. I want jnanam. Why do I want jnanam? Well, because jnanena eva moksha. Moksha is already accomplished. And if it's already accomplished, why don't I think I have moksha? That is because I have ignorance. Therefore, jnanam is the only solution to that ignorance. There can't be any other solution. Therefore, they are very clear. Jnana deepite. Okay. And they know exactly what they want. And so, the summary of the shloka is what? Life of meditation. Essentially, it's a meditation. Yajna. Jhana yajna. So that self-mastery they are committed to. They can be sannyasis who are in pursuit of this knowledge, or they can be karma yogis also. So that is the essence of this shloka. So let's look at others offer. Others offer. We are translating this shloka now. Apare juhvati. Apare juhvati. Others offer all the activities of the senses and the organs of action. All the activities of the senses and the organs of action. Sarvani, Indriya Karmani, Prana Karmani, Cha. Right? Others offer all the activities of the senses and the organs of action. Where do they offer? Unto the fire of self-mastery. Atma Samyama Yogagno. Lighted by knowledge. Lighted by knowledge. Jnana Deepite. Lighted by knowledge means with clarity. They're not blindly doing this. They are doing it because they are now clear. They have Mithyatva Nishchaya. They have this Pradhana Purushartha Nishchaya is there. So I'm clear about Dharmartha Kama and I'm clear about Moksha also. So with that clarity, they do this. Okay. So generally, so in Kathopanishad, he uses a very nice word, Yama. He says, Dushta Iva, he says. So, he says, the sense organs are like wild horses. Wild horses. How many of you have, what is the meaning of wild horse? Only you have to interact with the wild horse to know what a wild horse is, right? Otherwise, this example will not work. And so I've seen this. And these horses, they're shaking around this and that. You can't touch them. They won't listen to you at all. It's not like your typical horse-drawn carriage, tuck, 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 tuck. It keeps on doing what you want to do. No, not like that. This horse, you try to pull it and make it go forward, it will go back. And then you try to stop it, it will go to the left suddenly, then right. And then you kick it and tell it something, it will sit down. It will sit down. And suddenly it will jump. These horses are like that, wild horses. So Dushtasvaha, like that, Yama says in Kathopanishad. Okay, let us chant number 28. Swapna. Yeah, you can mute yourself now. Dravya yajnaha.
Dravya yajnaha.
Tapo yajnaha.
Tapo yajnaha.
Yoga yajnaha.
Yoga yajnaha.
Tatha pare.
Tatha pare.
Swadhyaya.
Swadhyaya.
Jnana yajnascha.
Jnana yajnascha.
Yatayaha.
Yatayaha.
Samshita vrataha.
Samshita vrataha.
Dravya yajnastapo yajnaha.
द्रव्ययज्ञास्तपो यज्ञाः
Yoga yajnastatha pare.
योगयज्ञास्तथा परे
Swadhyaya jnana yajnascha.
स्वाध्याय ज्ञानयज्ञाश्च
Yatayah samshita vrataha.
यतयः संशितः व्रताः.
Yeah. So there in that second line, first segment, Swadhyaya Jnana Yajnascha. So sometimes it's confusing, Swadhya Yajna Na Yajna. So all this confusion can be there. So it's good to put a comma right after the Swadhyaya. So that Swadhyaya Jnana Yajnascha. That will be the correct breakup there. Okay. So here again, Krishna is introducing some 4 or 5 yajnas in one shloka itself. Let's take a look at that. First yajna is what? Dravya yajna. Dravya yajnaha. So Dravya yajnaha refers to people who who give wealth, who give away their wealth as a yajna. That is called a Dravya yajna here. Refers to the people, okay? People who do the yajna of the Dravya are called Dravya yajnaha. So they give their wealth, they give, whatever belongings, possessions they have, they give periodically, they give dana. So it's called dana yajna. Dravya means material, things, they give their things, their possessions they give. And they do it as a yajna, of course. And so this danam is very important. It's a very important yajna. In fact, uh, in the last days when the person passes away, one of the aspects is to give to all the Vaidikas and even poor people who are there during that time. We are supposed to do danam. It's a time to do danam. Before the cremation, danam is done. So Pune vandirukku. So the cat, there is a cat that gave birth recently to several kitten. So it is now come to it. Whenever it feels hungry, it comes here. And so we are hearing that here. So dana yajna, the danam is done. So before the cremation, danam is done. Now, just 3 weeks ago, I got a call from Chennai. So the word has gone around that we are supporting Vaidikas, and somebody from Chennai calls me and says, we I got your number from somebody so and so, and then there is he's a Ganapati. He's a Ganapati, he says. Ganapati. Have you heard of Ganapati? Ganapati. Ganapati. What is Ganapati? One who knows Ganapata is a Ganapati. What is Ganapata? So when we chant, suppose I say, Ganana Antva Ganapati Gum Hava Mahe Kavin Kavinam Upamashravastamam. How many of you have heard that? Yeah, most of you have heard. So this is called the basic Samhita Pata. So this is how we all learn our Vedas. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhavatu. All that is Samhita Pata, basic Pata. Then what they do, they start changing the words. They will do things like 1, 2, then 2, 3, then 3, 4, then 4, 5. See, Ganana Antva Tva Ganapatim Ganapatigam Havamahe Havamahe Kavin Kavinam. Correct? 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, like that it goes. So it's a way to, it's an amazing way they figured out to preserve the Vedas. Because if I'm chanting wrong, how do you know I'm chanting wrong? He's also chanting wrong. How to know if we are chanting correctly or wrong? Then you check with this guy. Let him chant the Kramapata. Then you can immediately know whether the one word was missed or not. Everything we will know. And then Krama, and then there is so Samhita, Krama, and then Jata. Like this, there are many patas. And then finally there is something called Ganapata. Ganapata is what? 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Om Ganana Antva Tva Ganana Ganana Antva Ganapating. And then what? Ganapating Tva Ganana Tva Ganapatim. Abra. 2, 3, 3, 2. Tva Ganapatin Tva Ganapatigum Hava Mahe Ganapatin Tva Ganapatigum Hava Mahe. Correct? So if you write it down, you can do it. So this, they have learned this for their Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, or whatever. So there are certain things which come under Ghanam. And so he introduced himself like that. And he says there is a family that is poor, and they passed away. That person passed away. They don't have children, and they don't have any money for the last rites. This is what he says. And so I spoke with him a little bit, etc. And so we and he said, I asked him, so what are the expenses? Why I'm giving this example is I asked him, what are the expenses? He says, look at the answer he gives. He says, I can do it for 50,000 rupees. We can do it for 1 lakh. We can do it for 5 lakhs. We can do it for 50 lakhs. We can do it for 1 crore also. Huh? This is the answer he gave me. That means what? Hey, if you are wealthy, if you are Ambani, you should spend crores of rupees. That is what he's saying. You can't simply invite 2 people and do something for 2 days and then get away with it. No, that is not Antyeshti. Antyeshti means you give. Give. This is what he said. Mama, I can do whatever. Nah, the kammiya pandren appadinu he said. He said, I'm going to minimize my expenses. So I asked some people, and so that's the idea. That time Dravya Yajna, they have to perform Dravya Yajna. So our culture was very different. I came with nothing. I'm going to go with nothing. Then what is all this stuff doing around me? A bungalow with so many floors and only 2 people. Nuclear family, that too. Five rooms, six rooms, 7 rooms. Only 2 people are there. What are we going to do with all this? So just give everything away. So that is called Dravya Yajna. And then what? Tapo Yajna. Tapo Yajna. So, I mean, the Vyajna you're already doing. Thanks to your donation, we are doing all this. And so all of us are doing that Dravya Yajna. And so Dravya Yajna is important because those days, my aunt used to tell me in the village, and she used to show me, go into the well and look inside and look at the sides of the well, and water will be seeping inside the well. Water will be seeping inside the well. And he used to tell me, only if you use the well properly, the water will also, it will replenish itself. And you have to keep using it. If you don't use the well properly, then the water also will dry up. I mean, water table and all is there. But the more you use it, the more it gives. And so the more we give, the more we get also. Correct? So what do we want here? Finally, we want Antakarana Shuddhi. So Dravya Yajna. Then Tapo Yajna. People who are given to other religious disciplines. So tapas, in the form of a tapas. So all this parayana, nama lekhanam. So writing Bhagavan's name, Sri Rama Jayam, Om Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Parvati Namaha, like this writing. I will write 1,000 names every day, like that. So that kind of a tapas you take. Next 108 days, I'm going to write the name 1,000 times or 100 times. Depends on how much time you have, and keep it practical, but keep it in a time that during the 24 hours, sometime I'm going to write 108 names, like that. Then it becomes a tapas. It becomes a vow. You've made a vow to do that. So keep on doing that, and it has an amazing effect. And like that. So Gayatri Japam. Some of you who know Gayatri can do Gayatri Japam. and I will chant 108 times, or I'll chant 1008 times, like that. These are all very practices that are very often done. And our Pandita Karthik ji comes, and he used to tell me, whenever all the Parayanam and all is over in the Veda Pathashala, then what? They go and play. So play around. Then what? Then there's still some time, half an hour for class. Then the Guruji will say, come on, do some Gayatri Japa. That's it. For them, that they'll sit and keep doing Gayatri Japa. And so their mindset is very different. Very different. Nothing can shake them. And I spoke to this Ganapati. What a command he had. What a command he had. And he is helping somebody else. And there is another person, other 2-3 Vaidikas, we are helping a lot of people like this. And that person's entire family, connected families, everybody is afflicted by corona and this and that, and hospital bills are just mounting. And he's taken loans and so on and so forth. And but you can't see a shake in his voice. You can't see a concern in his voice. He will say, hey, Mama, it's very concerning that so many things are going on, and it's like that, he said. But his stance is, you could see the calmness in his voice. You could sense that. So that's what all this stuff, Tapa Yajna means. That is what it gives us. And that's what we want also. And then what? Yoga Yajna, right? Yoga Yajna, yoga. So referring here to Ashtanga Yoga here. And so very important, Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga. So all our people here, so Narayan ji and others, Vijay ji and all, they're all studying on this Ashtanga Yoga. And so 8-limbed yoga. So it's a involved series of disciplines: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. These are the 8 limbs. And Yama, so abstinences, Niyama, pursuits, disciplines. So abstinence means what? Ahimsa. Don't hurt. Practice the yajna of not hurting. Not easy. Why it's not easy? Because first of all, in the human relationships, I have to be careful. Not hurting doesn't mean I don't walk around with a gun. That is not the meaning of not hurting. Nobody walks around with a gun. But I can hurt people with my own words. I can hurt people, and one word is enough, and then that's it, over. The relationship is broken after that. So not hurting. I have to be careful about what I say. I have to be very mindful, and so a lot of alertness is required. Then hurting animals, hurting plants, everything is there. So that one ahimsa, if you take, that is enough. You can just lead your whole life based on ahimsa. Ahimsa also means speaking up when you are supposed to speak up. Okay, ahimsa doesn't mean sitting quiet. Ahimsa means speaking up. When I'm supposed to vote, I must vote for the right person. And I must talk about it, why I'm voting for this person. That's what is ahimsa. Otherwise, these fellows come, and these rakshasas that are there in many states, and then they ruin the people and ruin the governance. So ahimsa, look at that. Ahimsa, like this, there is a list, asteya, etc. There is asteya. Okay, so that Ashtanga Yoga, those who follow that, Ishvara Pranidhanam is there in Niyama. So Ishvara Pranidhanam, so make it prayerful. You have to invoke Ishvara. The prayerful life, the entire life becomes prayerful. Ishvara Pranidhanam. So that is one of the niyamas. Like this, people who follow Ashtanga Yoga, they are trained in that, they study that, and they use every discipline. There is a yajna. They are called Yoga Yajnaha. Those who do that are called Yoga Yajnaha. And then Swadhyaya Jnana Yajnaha. Correct? Swadhyaya Jnana Yajnaha. So it refers to again 2 types of people. One is Swadhyaya Yajnaha, Other is Jnana Yajna. So Swadhyaya Yajna means what? So that's fairly obvious. Swadhyaya, study of one's own Veda. It's called Swadhyaya. So we are supposed to, we all, if you look at our ancestors, our parents, the parents' parents, etc., they used to study a particular Veda. That's why we all will be either a Yajurvedi or a Samavedi or a Atharvavedi or a Rigvedi. Correct? We all have a, so that Veda we are supposed to do Adhyayanam of, study that. So Parayanam means the chanting of the Veda or study of the Veda. Both. Swadhyaya, those people who do that are called Swadhyaya Yajnaha. And then Jnana Yajnaha. Okay, Jnana Yajnaha, which we have seen before. Vedanta Shravanam. Vedanta Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasana. They are called Jnana Yajnaha. Those who are pursuing the study of the Shastra. Jnana Yajnaha. And who are they? They are Yatayaha and they are Samshita Vrataha. Yatayaha. Yati. Yati is the word there. Plural of Yati is Yatayaha. Yati, Prayatna Shilaha. Yatna Shilaha Yati. One who is given to effort. Given to putting effort. Without putting effort, you don't get anything. So these people are people who put effort. Yatayaha they are. They make an effort, because without an effort, you can't do any of these things. You have to find a time, you have to focus your mind, everything has to be done. And then what yajna you want to do, any of these yajnas can be done. One is not better than the other. Everything is equally efficacious, because that is the power of yajna. Whatever you like, you do. Cooking can be converted into yajna. Start with a prayer. Eating, consuming food itself has to be converted to a yajna. That itself, we should start with that, because only a few times a day we eat, and then we start with that. He's going to come to that next. In fact, let's talk about this in the next one. Okay, in 29:30, I think. So all these things, these are all the yajnas that here also he has described these yajnas. Samshita vrataha. Samshita vrataha. Vratam means a vow, a commitment. Samshita, those for whom these vows are very clear. I know what vow I am making. I know why I am making this vow. Both are very clear. They are called Samshita Vrataha. I want Antakarana Shuddhi and I want Moksha. Therefore, therefore, I'm doing this yajna. Krishna has mentioned it. Therefore, I'm going to follow that. They are very clear. Samshita Vrataha. So let's look at this. Look at the shloka. So too, comma, tatha, so too, there are those, apare, there are those, okay, who share wealth, within brackets, their wealth, who share their wealth. We can't go around to the neighbor's house and say, I want to share your wealth. And that's not, we can't do that. So, there are those who share their wealth, comma, Dravya Yajnaha, then Tapo Yajnaha, those who follow prayerful disciplines, those who follow prayerful disciplines, comma, those who practice yoga, within brackets, Ashtanga Yoga, comma, and those of firm vows and efforts, and those of firm vows and efforts, Samshita Vrataha Yatayaha, Yatayaha Samshita Vrataha, those are firm vows and efforts who pursue recitation or study of their own Veda, who pursue recitation or study of their own Veda, Swadhyaya Yajna, and self-knowledge, Jnana Yajna, who pursue recitation and study of their own Veda and self-knowledge. So too, comma, there are those who share their wealth, comma, those who follow prayerful disciplines, comma, those who practice Ashtanga Yoga, comma, and those of firm vows and efforts who pursue recitation of their own Veda and self-knowledge, recitation and study of their own Veda. Okay. Let's chant the next one. Yeah, Vijay, go ahead. अपाने जुह्वति प्राणम
अपाने जुह्वति प्राणम
प्राणे पानं तथा परे
प्राणे पानं तथा परे
प्राणापानगति रुद्ध्वा
प्राणापानगति रुद्ध्वा
प्राणायामपरायणाः
प्राणायामपरायणाः
अपाने जुह्वति प्राणम
अपाने जुह्वति प्राणम
प्राणे पानं तथा परे
प्राणे पानं तथा परे
प्राणापानगति रुद्ध्वा
प्राणापानगति रुद्ध्वा
प्राणायामपरायणाः
प्राणायामपरायणाः.
Yeah. So might become some familiar words are here. Apanam is there, pranam is there, pranayama is there. So these words are all there. So this sloka refers to the act of pranayama, which is also a very important activity in the life of a Vedic person. Okay, pranayama. So pranayama parayanaha, they are being described here. Parayanaha, those who are param ayanam. So they have a commitment. They have a goal in mind. They are called parayanaha. Parayanaha means people who have a commitment, who have a goal in life. They are not simply wandering around. They have some clarity about what they want. They are called parayanaha. And what kind of parayanaha? Pranayama parayana. They are committed to this pranayama, this yajna pranayama. Pranasya ayama. It's a mastery of the prana, of the breath. That is pranayama. Mastery. So those people are called pranayama parayanaha. Okay. Now, pranaha is a word. Pranaha, there are 2 or 3 meanings for this word prana. Prana means just life, just the fact that this body is alive, that which makes the body alive is called prana. Prana. So pranam poiduthu solluvom. So when somebody dies, we say prana is gone. Prana is gone. So that prana, that is one meaning of prana. Then there is pancha prana. Pancha prana. What are the pancha prana? So pranaya swaha, apanaya swaha, dhyanaya swaha, udanaya swaha, samanaya swaha. So all the physiological activities of, not psychological, physiological activities of the body. Okay. So prana, respiration, apana, excretion, elimination, udana is rejection, like vomiting, etc. And then Dhyana swaha, circulation, blood circulation. And then samanaya swaha, samanam is the digestion. So we do this, all of us who are initiated, we will do this before having a meal. We will say om pranaya swaha, etc. Before doing a puja and during the naivedyam, we have to offer, we have to say pranaya swaha. Apana Swaha, etc. So that they are called Pancha Pranaha. They are all the physiological systems referring to the entire physiology of the body. Okay, so that prana. So prana can refer to Pancha Pranaha. But here, prana, the word prana does not have any of those meanings. It refers to the exhalation. Exhalation. The exhaled air is called prana. Exhalation is also called prana. And what about apana? The inhaled air. The inhalation is called apana. Okay. Inhalation is called apana. Okay. So now look at this. Apane juhvati pranam. Apane juhvati pranam. Pranam juhvati. Okay. Pranam juhvati. Apare pranam juhvati. Apare, yet others. Okay. Yet others. Pranam juhvati. They offer the pranam. They offer the exhalation. Correct? Pranam is exhalation. Correct? They offer the pranam. Where do they offer? Apane. Into the apana. Into the inhalation. They offer the exhalation into the inhalation. Okay. And so that means when the inhalation is happening, that is the process. The inhalation is happening. Hey, the air that was exhaled just a second ago, 2 seconds ago, I am offering it back into the inhalation, into this body. Correct? Apane juhvati pranam. Prane apanam. Then there are others who offer, the same person offers the apanam, which is the inhalation, into the exhalation, prane. Correct? So that's a yajna. It is visualized as a yajna. That is the beauty of this pranayama. Same pranayama which we do ordinarily also. And there I am doing it for my health, for my well-being, for my respiration, for my lungs, etc. Yeah, you do it, but you do it with a prayer. These things have to be done with a prayer. That's why it becomes a yajna. Otherwise, it's not a yajna. So, yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopa karottam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjali ranatos. So this prayer is there. So before, all the people who are doing yoga, asanas also, they do this. So before any asanas you do, you're supposed to chant this. Then invoke Patanjali Maharshi and then do this. Then it becomes a yajna. So of course the body gets better and the health is improved, etc. All that is there. And but it has to be done as a yajna. This is a prayerful discipline. So pranayama done as a prayer, with a prayer and with a goal of antakarana shuddhi. So I want my lungs to be better means lungs can always be better. The body can always be better. Even the healthiest person, he also would like his health to be better than what it is today. And there is no end to that. There is no end. Therefore, our goal is not to have greatest health. It's good to have good health. You have to maintain your health. You have to improve things that you have to improve. No doubt about that. But health is not a goal of life. Health cannot be a goal of life. And health is needed. Physical health is definitely needed. Mental health is needed. And so they're all not ends. They are means to an end. Okay. So here then he says prana pana gati rudhva. Prana pana gati rudhva. So rudhva means having held the breath, both the pranam and apana. So there is puraka, kumbhaka, and rechaka. So the process of inhalation is called puraka. And then kumbhaka is holding the breath. And then exhale. Exhalation is called rechaka. Correct? Puraka, kumbhaka, and rechaka. These are the three main things in pranayama, 3 movements. So one is inhalation, the other is holding kumbhaka, and then exhalation. So those 3 processes are indicated here in this shloka. And so then the bahya kumbhaka, antar kumbhaka, all that is there. That is holding the breath after inhalation, or do you hold the breath after exhalation? These things are all there, and each has, benefits, and people, and this has so much effect that people with low blood pressure, high blood pressure, and all, they have to take the advice of an expert in these things, because that kind of impact this has. And so everybody cannot do every pranayama exercise, and so pranayama, uh, and so all that is very important. Somebody told me, so in fact, um, Narayanji told me sometime last year, I remember. So the allergies. So I am not supposed to do. So do inhalation, don't do kumbhaka, he said, and then do exhalation. The reason is when we do our Sandhya Vandanam, we do this Om Bhuhu, Om Bhuva. We do pranayama. So during pranayama, this Gayatri is there. Om Bhuhu, Om Bhuvaha, Om Suvaha, Om Mahaha, Om Janaha, Om Tapaha, Ogum Satyam, Om Tatsaviturvarenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. The way we do that is, we do in such a way that Om Bhuhu, Om Bhuvaha, Om Suvaha, Om Mahaha, Om Janaha, Om Tapaha, Om Satyam. Like that we inhale. Then Om Tatsaviturvarenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Like that we hold the breath. So 1:2, 2:3. Then the second Om Bhuhu onwards till Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Apo Jyoti Raso Amritam Brahma Bhurbhava Sura. That is the third step. So inhale 1:2:3 duration of that time. That is how I used to do. And it's a very powerful pranayama technique. And so the pranayama, look at that. The pranayama and Gayatri are combined together. Do you see that? We chant it and then we do the pranayama. We don't realize we are doing pranayama. We are chanting. But automatically the breath is also regulated. So like this whole pranayama is converted into a yajna, and therefore they are called pranayama parayanaha. And the magic here is an involuntary action of breathing, which is involuntary. We don't pay attention to our breath at all until we have a cold, until we have all these problems, asthma attack, this and that are there. Then only our breath becomes a problem. Until then, we don't worry about it. So that involuntary action is converted into voluntary and deliberate action. And when we do that, then the regulation happens and it becomes a prayer. It can be made into a prayer. So we'll talk more about this in the next class, how we convert these. Our day starts with a prayer. We teach our children how to do this. We always tell them, and get up. When you get up, immediately you have to say Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. And I still remember that. Only when I taught the children, I really understood the significance of that. You see, then I said, come on, children, let's now sleep. We are all going to sleep now. And everybody says, yeah, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. So sleep. And everybody looks around also. He's sleeping. Uncle, he's not sleeping. Okay, fine. Vivek, sleep. Everybody should sleep now, okay? And until I say open your eyes, you should be sleeping. And everybody will sleep. And open your eyes. Then what are you going to say? And everybody says, Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. So that act of getting up is converted into a prayer. Like this, every act, before stepping down on the earth, there is another prayer. And then before taking a bath, there is a prayer. So everything is converted into a prayer. That is all the yajna. So for such a person, this yajna becomes very easy. Correct? Very easy. And so let's translate this and conclude. Okay. So too, tatha, others who are committed to the practice of pranayama parayanaha, tatha apare pranayama parayanaha. So too, others who are committed to the practice of pranayama, within brackets, breath control, comma, stopping the flow of inhalation and exhalation, pranapana gati rudhva, stopping the flow of inhalation and exhalation, comma, offer the outgoing breath pranam juhvati, into the incoming breath, apane, offer the outgoing breath into the incoming breath, and within brackets, and the incoming breath into the outgoing breath, prane apanam juhvati. So too others who are committed to the practice of pranayama or breath control, stopping the flow of inhalation and exhalation, comma, offer the outgoing breath into the incoming breath, and the incoming breath into the outgoing breath. So if you do this, obviously the present moment, they talk about present moment. This is all about present moment. Of course, it's more than present moment, but these are the practices that that have been given to us by our rishis. So we very feel blessed about that. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.